Alright, today we're going to put all this together on the crank and get the upper gears on there for the cam and for the distributor. Already got the one of the main bearings in there, the fourth one, well, it might be the third actually. And you'll notice I put the tab at the bottom, so we got the pin going in at the bottom. And the two gears unfortunately can only be put on after being heated up. If you just try to put them on right now, they won't fit. So you heat them up, and typically they drop on real good. Pay attention to the two dots on the top of the gear, so you have them facing upward. You don't want to have them on the wrong side. So what I do is I just take the gear, put it on the stove. I also have some welding gloves here, so I don't burn myself when I do this. And this might be a little more time consuming, but we'll get it taken care of. You can use a heat pad or anything that gets up to around 200-300 degrees, and you'll need that for two of the gears. This one here is for the cam gear, and we'll let it get hot. It'll start smoking a little bit when it's ready, and then we'll coax that on there. Once it's on, so you have to get it pressed off, so don't mess around once you get it on there, because you don't want it cools down pretty quick. You don't want it to get stuck halfway down, or you got to go back to the machine shop again to get it pressed off, unless you have a really good press. So let it get heated up just a smidge here. Starting to heat up already. Usually you'll see a couple wisps of smoke off it when it's ready, and this gives me a good opportunity to clean the top of the stove when I'm done. After the gear goes on, you'll see me put the spacer on, and I'll heat up the gear for the distributor drive. That goes on next, then the snap ring, and then the top bearing. You'll notice I have the crank pretty much all put together with the rods and all that. I actually had the timing gear on there, but and had everything installed in the motor, and had a small problem with the block. Had to have the block line bored, so always have that stuff checked. I thought it was already line bored, but whoever did it, well, probably wasn't the line borer's problem. It was the person who used it and abused the engine before me. I probably got everything a little out of whack. So, we got some smoke coming up here, so it's ready to go. So I'm going to drop that right on there, and with a little bit of help, get it on there. Make sure it's fully seated all the way down. It's a pretty tough gear, so don't worry about stretching it. Alright, so that sucker's on there and seated real nice. Let that cool down for a second. We're going to put on our spacer. It doesn't really matter which way the spacer goes. It's just like it sounds, it's a spacer. And this copper gear here, interesting, I got a little bit of grease still on it. I'll have to clean that off later, but you'll notice that it doesn't really have an up and a down. Sometimes I look at them and make a decision how I want to put them. In this case, I'm going to put it like this, no particular reason. So I'm going to heat this one up next. Let that get hot. Now you notice it had wisps of smoke coming off it when I put it on there. That's how I knew it was ready. So now after I put this gear on there, at that point it's not a rush anymore. And it's not like it's a big rush to do it anyway. It's just, it does start cooling down awful quick as soon as it hits. Now this bearing is stuck on there until she's ready to put in. So, starting to get wisps of smoke. I think the copper just takes to the heat a little better. In this case, I think I might actually use this to help me pick it up a little bit. And we got her up, got her on. Gotta make sure she's there. There we go. This one, because it's copper, it just kind of seems to fit a lot better. Alright, at this point, we're not in a rush anymore. At this point, we can do this nice and slow. And snap rings next. It's nice to have a good snap ring pliers. Unfortunately, I have these. and they work, but they are not the best. So bear with me. I actually had to machine the pliers a little bit so they had a nice little place for the stuff to hold on to. Yeah, see, that's the problem with these things. So anyway, I'm going to put the snap ring on there, and then so the snap ring will go in this place right here. This will go on top of there's another bearing. This goes on top of that. Here's the other bearing. Give you kind of an idea. Again, this always goes to the bottom. This will go on top of that. And then this will hold everything in place, and then we're done. And that's the whole deal. So I'm going to go play with the snap ring for a bit. You don't need to be bored while I'm doing that. But that's the basic idea on how this all gets done. Talk to you later.